Hey everybody, this is a satsang I'm going to film for June, and I'm going to start off as usual with a little bit of silence and sitting, and then I invite you to do the same, unless of course you want to fast forward to the talk. So I don't have a good setup here with the camera, but it'll have to do. found peppermint tea to be really good for digestion, by the way. So, for those of you who need like really good digestion tip, this is it. So you are not your life. I know it seems like you are. That you are a series of events and activities and conversations and passions and desires and dislikes, but that is not who you are. You are not your life. You are life. You are everything. You are the space in which everything is happening. Experientially, this proves to be true. Sitting down and getting really, 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 really honest with your experience, you will find that you are everything and that everything is happening within you. Nothing is outside of you. You are absolute. That means you are everything. That means nothing can go through without touching you. Everything touches you because you are everything. You can't resist anything here. If you come to non-duality and you are still experiencing a rejection of the totality of your being, then that is not who you are. Who you are is in the dropping away of that rejection and the dropping away of that energy that is at war with what is happening. Even if what's happening is a feeling or a thought, everything is welcome here. This is the most important part of this message, that everything is welcome here. Once you have to talk about this in duality. The topic is non-duality. Once it sees itself, the only process that can result from that is surrendering, letting go, or dropping away. So most often, the energy will just become disinterested and disengaged with the world of formations. It will slowly begin to extract its tentacles, if you will, from what it's been holding on to. And this process takes, in Storyland, time, but that which is watching it has never shifted. It's never moved. It's always been right here. It's always been watching this dream. It's been dreaming this dream. You are a dream that's being dreamt up by the entire universe, moment to moment. If you look for yourself, you'll notice that you're just looking in thought. It's just awareness moving around, it's focus. But where does that come from? Where is the origin of those thoughts and that awareness? The origin is the same thing as the formation. It returns also to its source, so it creates a full circle. These words come out of nothingness, they appear in nothingness, and they return to nothingness. There's absolute space here, all the time, in everything, as everything. Nothing you do, nothing you say, nothing you think changes or modifies this space. The space is untouched by you. Yet you are this space. And this space is about loss. Everything is continually being lost here. Death is the most appropriate language to use for this apparent process of liberation or enlightenment. But it is seen in this quest for enlightenment that you could never actually be enlightened. That's part of the dream. So ultimately, you'll stand at the edge, at the ledge of a cliff, and you'll have to jump. You'll have to let it all go in terms of identification. Once you've seen your true nature, I hate to tell you guys this, but there is no other way. All of it has to go. Nothing can remain here. Oh, that's really it. I think that's the key of this message. So drop my words, drop this message, drop this key. These words and this language is about resonance. It's about feeling resonance, but it's not in the feeling of resonance. It's about the dropping away of the energy which is clinging and holding on to words and language. To use words and language to find its true self, its true home, its true nature. Words and language cannot give you what you're looking for. But relaxing and dropping away might reveal to you that which is here, has always been here, and will never leave. Everything else will leave you. Your lover will leave you. Your job will leave you. Your finances will leave you. Your beauty will leave you. The food you eat will leave you. The experiences you have, the conversation you have with your neighbor, the trip you took to the Bahamas, the multi-million-dollar mansion you bought, the Ferrari, that's all going to leave you. Nothing can stay here. Everything goes. Everything ultimately leaves you. If you look for that, if you're still in the seeking phase and you are looking to find fulfillment and happiness in formations, you have to look for that which cannot ever leave you, which is what you are. Your whole life, everything you've done, your childhood, your relationships, your college graduation, your marriage, your baby, the falling in love, the doing your hobbies, that's always been watched. Your whole life has been watched by something. Something has always been here. Something that has never shifted, like an empty room. Something that has constantly, continually been receiving your life. And I know that it can feel like a lot. There are so many, the immensity of the totality of the realization that you are everything can feel like a lot. But in that heaviness, in that weight, you can collapse. You can fall through. You can stop. But you aren't the one that stops it. Because it's always been stopped. There's always been absolute stillness here, an unshakable, unmoving, boundless space, absorbing everything and anything, like a black hole. My partner's been on the lookout here for javelinas, which are these big, huge pigs. And he goes on his bike and he patrols all the streets here. And um, I don't even think they're out right now. I think this isn't their time of year, but maybe it is. Anyway, a lot of them have babies. They're really cute. And he's just researched that they hang out in these ravines and goes into the canyon areas where their hideabouts are to be, and he still hasn't seen one. And looking for your true self is kind of like looking for those javelinas. Um, he can look all he wants. He can position himself in the right neighborhood at the right time of day, in the right landscape, and he can wait and look for these piggies to show up. But the universe decides whether or not one pops up and reveals itself to him. He can't really control whether or not he sees the javelina. Ultimately, I'm sure he will see one. And if any genuine search for anything, whether it's for, good health or any goal or anywhere the attention sets its focus and focuses on that, then it will eventually reach that. And the same with the search in non-duality and the spiritual seeking, the search for enlightenment. Ultimately, if it's a real search, of course you're going to find out the truth. I promise you, the whole universe promises you'll find it. Question is, are you ready for it? Do you really, really, truly want to know who you are? Are you really, truly prepared to lose everything? Because this is a search about death, about loss, and about complete and total disintegration. Everything you know, everything you've had, everything you think you are will be pulverized here in this search. Most people, they've reached the edge of it and they do not go all the way. They dip their toe in and they turn back around and they go back to identity. And that is totally fine. This, which is watching, which is dreaming itself, has been unaffected and untouched by these movements and the appearance of time. All along you thought you were going to make it somewhere, and you were already there. This whole time, you'd been there all along. And that's the big joke. That's the huge irony. This isn't about becoming a more loving person, a more peaceful person, a more organized person, a more successful person, a more liberated person. This isn't about becoming or not becoming. This is about completely stopping. This is about coming to a full stop, cutting off its lifeline, collapsing the dream. Ultimately, when the attention keeps going back to the space that it is, layer by layer, it will lose interest in its thoughts. They just won't be very interesting anymore. And if you're listening to this, you're in for it. I don't know how else to express that. You're in for it. The truth wants all of you. It wants the whole thing. It doesn't want just a little piece of you. It wants everything. And on the personal level, on the human level, as that movement or that process is undertaken, that the human will most likely become a more balanced human. It will become more honest. It will become less angry. It will become less dramatic, but this is not about becoming the perfect human. Non-duality says not to. You are not separate from your anger. You are not separate from your life. You are everything. Everything is you.